Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to Cocktails After Dark. A lot going on here on the countertop, and today is going to be a bit of a ramble. Today's episode starts 5 years ago, in 2019. I did a video where I recreated the 1886 Coca Cola formula. And this is 7X. This is the flavoring from the 1886 cola. It contains orange, lemon, nutmeg, coriander, neroli, and cinnamon oils. Very flavorful, very sort of citrus forward, and a lot of deep earthy smells in here. So we made the 1886 cola. And I know that people are going to say Coca-Cola recipe is secret. Not really. Kinda. Yes. No. 2024, it is secret. In 1886, the guy that came up with this, Pemberton, he was a drug addict. He needed money to feed his morphine addiction. So he was willing to sell under license the formula to any pharmacist that had a soda counter that wanted to use it and promote Coca-Cola and use the original formula. So this formula exists in hundreds of formula books associated with those early pharmacies. Coca-Cola today, obviously, they've probably changed the formula, so today is a secret. 1886, not so much of a secret. Anyway, jump forward to about 4 or 5 months ago. I get a call from the guys at the Whiskey Tribe. They said, let's do something together. Let's ferment Coca-Cola and distill it and turn it into an alcohol. So I went down to Austin a couple of weeks ago, and this is some of what happened.
I'm excited. You excited?
I am.
Yeah.
I am very excited.
Yeah. We haven't tasted or smelled the spirit run. Like we're going in here fresh.
Super fresh.
Any theories as to what we're going to experience?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like the oils are going to come out expressed differently.
Oh, across the proofs. Okay, so for those that aren't familiar, as a spirit is coming off of the still, it starts with like the 4 shots. The heads is what it's called. This is like the really high ethanol. It's often very chemically acetones, yeah. And then as the spirit is coming out of the still, the proof and the flavors will change. So in that spirit run, which we're about to taste here, you're getting variations of flavor profiles, and we want to figure out where those flavors are landing in this glass. And you think those oils are going to change across
because they're different weights. They have different volatilities, so they will express.
Okay, I hope so. That'd be really interesting. Yeah. I thought we got up here with too many glasses.
No.
Now we don't have enough. See, this is why. For science.
Science.
Hey, number 12 at 144 proof.
Oh, that is very different.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
So I'm not getting any of the citrus notes that I got in earlier ones?
You can definitely tell that there's less alcohol.
Yeah.
It's not smacking your nostrils.
It's like a really sweet, I don't know, it's not a wicker. It's some type of planty, like a sawdusty, I don't know.
Yeah, like a sweet leaf plant. You smell the leaves.
Oh,
hold on. This is getting the darker, heavier flavors from that. Yeah. It's living.
Yeah.
That those bassy, darker notes
are
getting
yeah.
Number 12.
Yeah.
That's where the oils are.
Yeah.
That is actually not bad. It's kind of, for the high proof, it's kind of delicate.
Yeah, we should emphasize, we're so high in the proof. Like
yes.
Can I sniff that syrup?
Of course you can. Yeah. You want a little comparison?
Yeah, I want to get in there.
100 proof like whiskey is considered a pretty, high proof. That's
So I tasted one with Daniel this morning at 150.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
And he put water in it. He said it'll be better. It's like both of us tasted it and said, no, it's worse.
Yeah. Water does really interesting things with spirits.
It can be unpredictable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's coming through. It's in there, man.
It's in there?
It's in there.
Yeah. It's interesting to me whenever I'm doing tastings with people who aren't in whiskey.
Yep.
Like I'm trying 100 proof, 50% ABV, drinking it like it's water, like it's nothing, and then they'll get like an 80 proof thing and just in agony.
Yes.
Just crawling on the floor. It's so much alcohol. But you acclimate to it.
Yeah. You haven't winced a bit.
I spent the morning with Daniel.
He's a drunk.
we started at 8 o'clock.
He's a drunk Pablo.
This morning? Oh my god.
Okay.
That's very approachable.
I'm finding more complexity whenever you don't prove it down to 100.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's more layers.
Yes.
Even whenever you're separating it across these cuts. There's more layers.
This is cut number 11 off of the still. It is at 146 proof. Ideally, I probably should have taken several of the cuts and mixed them together and brought that home. I wasn't thinking so forward on that day. And what I've done here is I've taken about half of the liquid and I've put it into this mason jar 6 days ago with a little bit of barrel to force barrel age it. We're going to make 3 cocktails that I think will pull the flavors out of this alcohol. And we're going to go through them really quickly so that we can jump right into the tasting. So the first cocktail we're going to make is called the $4. This would normally be made with rum. First in white vermouth, red vermouth, and instead of rum, we're going to use our 141 proof Coca Cola alcohol. Equal parts of each. And so I'm not going to ice this just yet because we are making 3 cocktails. I'll ice them all at the same time. The first 2 cocktails I'm doing are rum cocktails because essentially this is a rum. It was distilled with white sugar. And these first 2 cocktails both use unaged white rums. The next one we're going to do is a take on a daiquiri. And that's because the lime flavor in this mixture is pronounced. And I'm hoping that the lime and the daiquiri will sort of pull all of that together. Now, this is just but one version of a daiquiri. There are so many daiquiri recipes out there. They all contain the same 3 ingredients, just in various different proportions. And so in place of the rum, our Coca-Cola Spirit. 2.5. Okay, we'll set that aside. The next cocktail we're going to do is shake. And we're going to use this sort of forced aged version of the liquor that we've been using. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I've chosen a fairly complex cocktail that uses cherry because I know that cherry goes well with Coke. It's got a little bit of bitters. This is a cocktail called a New York Minute that originally would have called for tequila. We're going to see how this plays out. I'm probably going to start and stop because this one's a little more complicated. So, 2/3 of red vermouth, 1/2 ounce of maraschino liqueur, 1/6 of sugar syrup, dash of bitters, and we're using Peychaud's, 1 3/4 of our aged spirit. So there's 3/4. And there's 1 ounce. And as we always do, I'm going to ice, shake, or stir these one at a time. Double strain our New York Minute into a Nick and Nora. I think I can ice and stir these 2 at the same time. Our daiquirish. And a $4-ish.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey,
Hey,
Jules.
friends. I am ready for this adventure.
Okay. 3 cocktails. This one I'm going to keep over here.
Okay.
This one uses the
Yes, that's been sitting on our counter
faux
for
aged
about a
one.
week now. Yeah.
And these 2 use the 140. I said 141. It's 146.
Oh my.
So it's
Either
interesting.
way, it's like, whew.
When we were doing the tasting, we watered it down to 100 proof because that is sort of the proof where you get most of the.
So what you're telling me is you didn't bother.
We didn't like it at 100 proof.
Oh,
We were tasting it at 155 proof, and it tasted amazing. So, I give you a take on a daiquiri,
okay,
a take on a $4, one of your favorites.
okay.
And this one is called the New York Minute, and I thought that the barrel-aged spirit would maybe play nicely in this one, but we should taste that last.
Okay.
Okay, give it a go on the daiquiri. I'm going to try the $4 first.
Because I love a $4. Not necessarily a daiquiri fan as much as I am a $4 fan. So let's see. See, I don't know if it's because I'm not a big fan of daiquiri or if it's just not, I mean, it's very sweet.
Wow. Okay, so you don't like the lime.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
To me, the lime juice brings out all of the citrus flavors that are in this spirit. I really like that. What do you think of the $4?
Well, it doesn't taste like a $4.
No.
But it has a different fruity tone to it that
Yes.
the regular, the
the-
standard $4 doesn't have.
That the standard rum doesn't
And I'll
bring
have
to it.
admit to have made $4 with,
Gin.
I mean, yeah, but with, very fancy rum, very, standard, off the shelf rum. And that doesn't seem to have the same influence that this has actually had in the flavor.
So would you order that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still thinking about how it's different, and I can't quite put my finger on it beyond there's a little fruitiness to it.
And the flavors are much more complex. The flavor of that daiquiri is much more complex to me than a regular daiquiri. To me, a regular daiquiri and I've tried so many of the various formulas where you vary the amount of rum, the amount of lime juice, the amount
And I'm
of
sure if we
syrup.
watch the series, there's one I like.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan.
But for the most part, I'm not a fan. That
But you like this one.
spirit brings a complexity to that daiquiri that you just don't see in most rum daiquiris.
It is. It's interesting. It has that same kind of extra something
Yeah.
that's hard to define.
Another layer. There's another layer.
You and I do not have the palate to say that it's this or that, but there's definitely something else in there.
So when I shot with Daniel at the Whiskey Vault, he said, that's okay. Figure out what you like. You don't have to explain why you like it. You just have to figure out what you like and follow that. Okay, so I'm going to give this one a go first.
I feel like my mouth is all full with flavor.
New York. There's a cup
Oh,
of
I'll
tea
have
over
some of
there.
your. I'm gonna have some of your tea. Excuse me. There's always a little tea on the side there.
That.
So this is the New York Minute. I've never had a New York Minute.
I've never had a New York Minute either.
Is it a modern cocktail?
It is a fairly modern
So
cocktail.
that might be why we've never had it, because it's not in our.
And it uses aged tequila, which is why I thought the aged or the faux aged.
Right on the nose, you can tell the aged
Barrel,
part.
yeah. The barrel jumps right out.
Wow, that's really pleasant.
Yes, it is very pleasant.
That's very, very pleasant.
So
I don't know how else to describe it.
no,
It's not cloyingly sweet, but it's got some sweetness to it. It's,
It brings in the cherry notes just.
it's
sort
like
of
you took
there
these
and-
two and put them together, and you get up with like the sweetness and the flavor with the, yeah.
So down at the Whiskey Tribe, all we did was rum and Coke. I mean, Coke and Coke. Coke and all we did was a Coke and Coke, and it was really good.
Squared?
Yeah, Coke squared.
There
It was
you
a
go.
Coke squared. And what this spirit did, and we used cut number 12. We found that cut number 12, and we used all of it. We found
Clearly, it was good. But it's just three of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
well, no, Kyle came in from the distillery,
Okay.
and he had a little bit too. But cut 12 had a really deep bottom note, and I wish I had some of that because it would even deepen the complexity. So we used number 12, 155 proof in a Coke and Coke, and we found that it made, I'm going to go all, It was more Coke than Coke. If you get the reference, you get the reference. If you don't, that's okay.
That's okay. You can use your search engine. You'll find out.
You'll.
I like this. And so
Yeah.
now I'm wondering, I feel like at some point we're going to have to do a New York Minute, even though it
Okay.
doesn't fall in our
Yeah.
old recipes, just to know how it tastes different.
So coming up, New York Minute made with tequila and our spirit, so that we can taste them side by side.
I don't know which one to have. Well, I'm not going to have that one. I'll move that one over there for you. And I'll just,
Rex, why aren't we making this?
that's a serious look.
Well, we should be making
You notice
this.
Glen's got a serious look there?
We should be making this. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. I kind of apologize because unless we can make this,
You're
never
get
going to
this.
taste it. And I feel sad for you.
But it does kind of give us, it reminds us the importance of having fun with what you're doing.
Have fun.
Change it up. It's going to change the flavor. Try, it says this is a gin drink. Well, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's, yeah. These three are definitely all Coca Cola spirit drinks.